Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fabulous Friday TV. Women from all over the world are joining together today. Fabulous Friday TV is about celebrating fabulous, living fabulous, being fabulous, and feeling fabulous. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. But we can also say, thank God I'm fabulous. So I'm Sherry Kallergis in Vancouver with At 45, the magazine for women when life changes. And I'm the co-founder of Fabulous University, a beautiful platform for women to take courses wherever they are in their life.
And I'm Marot, and I am the founder of Women Connect, and this is an elite membership program for women to empower themselves and to learn all the things that they need to learn in one space. So whether it's to improve their self or their business or their personal life, all the subjects are available. And I'm also the co-founder of Fabulous University, and I'm very happy that to see everyone here today, and yeah, I look forward to our speakers today. We've got a very interesting speakers. Over to you, Sherry.
We've got a really interesting show today. And Anne and I are just so blessed that you are taking time out of your busy day, busy morning, busy afternoon, and busy night if you're in Australia to listen to the show and tune in. And we're having a fun time connecting with you. So often our show is taped and is available on our YouTube channel at 45. But we just want to remind the people on the show that you're sharing in a public space. So today we're talking about business, how to achieve your full potential at work, and what is the mindset needed to move you forward in 2021. So, whether you're working full time or part time, or maybe you're retired, it's always nice to have extra money coming in. A side hustle can pay for bills, it can give you extra padding for retirement, maybe help you go on a vacation as soon as COVID is over. But also, we've talked before about how good having a side hustle or a gig is good for your mind. And we often think millennials are the ones with two or three gigs on the go. But baby boomers, interestingly enough, are not far behind. Baby boomers are hustling harder than millennials. According to a study by Wonolo, which is a gig platform where you can put your services out there, one baby boomer out of every three is completing three or more gigs a week on that platform, compared to only 1 in 5 millennials. And why is that? Well, baby boomers, our group, have many skills that translate to side hustles. And I mean, when you think about it, that's only common sense. We have been in business doing things, and a lot of those skills that we've acquired really do translate to other things. And not only that, but a lot of millennials need the expertise that we already have. So there's an article in At 45 from Kathy Patel Schmidt, and she's sharing how her business grew from a life skill at 45. So you can find it in at45.com. Over to you, Anne.
Okay, good. Well, today our topic is is sort of about business and the mindset. And for me, mindset is a big thing, and it's something that I've worked on continuously in my business. And so sorry about that. That's my call.
No problem.
And so I've worked on mindset continuously in my business and my private life. And I remember a moment when I was at my lowest, and I had what I called the enemy in my head. The enemy is like the internal voices telling you that you're not good enough, and you see, I mean, the greatest wall that you'll ever face is in your head. And I just tell myself, don't allow the enemy to keep you from your greatest. So you can either sink or you can swim. But the decision is always up to you. And the other day, my daughter asked me, she said, Mom, how do you keep your energy levels up so high over these last 24 years of you being in business? And my answer was, I plant the right seeds. You see, I've learned that I surround myself with people that inject faith in my heart instead of, fear in my head. And I'm sorry, I just let someone in now. And then my mission, I treat my mission like my magnet, and because none of us are exempt from hard times. And so I hone in on my mission. And today, instead of focusing on the leaves of the tree, trying to achieve everything that for everyone and losing my way under the heavy loads of foliage, because that's really what has happened to me many times before in business. And I realized that it's all about the roots of the tree and that holds up the trunk, and that there's plenty of time to focus on the leaves going forward. And what I mean by this, and I wanted to pass this message on today because mindset is really important to me, and a lot of people do it, and we've got amazing coaches on today who's actually going to further this conversation in more depth, of course. But what I mean is by this is that your mindset actually is that the way you think, okay, it determines the outcome of everything for you in your life, whether it's good or bad. So instead of us being all over the place in our heads, focus on what you're all about, stay loyal to what you believe your purpose is, and commitment must be rooted and strengthen those roots. So that's my message for you, everyone, today. Yeah, back to you. I hope that gets to someone.
Yeah. I'm sure it will, Anne. Thank you for sharing that wisdom. It's absolutely critical that we are believing in ourselves when we want to move forward, and that we are making sure that we stay focused. So wonderful message. Has our first speaker checked in?
She's trying to, I'm just going to help her now.
Okay, so that's good. So what I'm going to ask you guys is, we've got some prizes later on in the show, and I want you to be thinking and putting in the chat an experience. And the experience is, share with us the best experience dancing you ever had. 2 or 3 sentences. What was the dance? What type of music it was? Maybe who you were with? Because I don't know about you, but I am missing dancing, and it got me thinking about that. So we're really curious to have you share with us your best experience dancing. So Anne, I'm going to introduce Karen first then. Okay, super. So Karen Flynn is a strategic business leader who understands the power of communication. She's an author, business and communication coach with Coach K Mentorship. In her business, Karen coaches entrepreneurs and senior level executives who are keen to review their business and personal brand. Karen works on new strategies for success and reviews key messaging, positioning, and strategic goal setting. As a successful entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience, Karen has worked with international brands across Europe, the UK, and USA, as well as Canada. And Karen is a contributor to Chat 45. She has an article in this week's edition. And welcome, Karen.
Thank you. I'm so delighted to be here. I love what Anne said about mindset. I made a note.
Well, we're so excited to have you now, Karen, because we've had a change in the lineup. We may not have the PowerPoint up for you, but if we can, we'll be getting it up. But otherwise, you're the full show.
Well, I've got your PowerPoint up. I've got it ready for you, Karen. You're on mute at the moment, okay?
Okay, cool. Well, that's it. I'm going to launch myself right into this then. I just have some notes that I want to refer to. Thank you guys for spending the hour today. I mean, it's just wonderful that we get this ability to share with all of you from all over the place. So today, what I've prepared is just 4 images to bring home to you what I want to talk about. And today I want to talk about goals. How do we set goals for ourselves, whether it's personal or in our businesses? How do we set them? How do we set it up to achieve those goals? The next thing I want to cover is fueling up. How do you keep yourselves fueled up to stay in the top condition that you need to? Because while mindset is one thing, we have to feed ourselves to be in our optimal position to get there. And then mindset. How do you allow creative thoughts to come in and not block it? How do you allow thoughts to flow through without neglecting what you've already planned? An open mindset. And then at the end, I want to do a quick check-in. I don't want to take up too much time, but I would love to check in and you all to think about where you are today with your goals, with what you're trying to achieve. How are you taking care of yourselves? And what mindset are you in to get there? Okay? So if you can shoot up that the SMART goals image, that would be amazing. Okay, so it's the first one. That's the last one. SMART, yeah, SMART goals. Next one. The next slide. Awesome. So one before that. There it is. Okay, so what goals, I'll ask you, what goals have you set yourselves right now? What it is you're trying to achieve for the next, say, 6 months? Many of us do have like various goals we go through back and forth, and then some we prioritize and others we tend to push down low. The thing with setting SMART goals, being really specific and measurable, it gives us the ability to focus on it, but also to be continuously motivated as we celebrate the small milestones to get there. So think of a goal that you might have right now, a specific goal. And how do you make it even more specific than say to yourselves, I want to get there to that place? What can you say to make it more specific? How can you make it even more measurable to bring it closer to you? And attainable, reliable, and time-bound. Those are all tips to make those goals. You break it down into bite-sized pieces so that every little step you take, you can celebrate getting there, moving forward. It adds to keeping you motivated and on task. It helps to change your mindset. Because when we set goals and it's just too far out of reach some days, when we're just thinking, oh, I've been working on this, but I just can't seem to get there. Well, if you break it down into bite-sized pieces, it allows you to move forward and celebrate the steps. So that's one thing, SMART goals. The next slide is something that's very dear to me, and I see this far too often. It's we work, we think, we create, but we're not thinking of fueling up ourselves. This is the Maslow's hierarchy of our basic human needs. So at the very bottom, food, water, recreation. Many people are actually not even getting to that level right now with COVID. People are eating badly. They're going to working at home, going to the fridge and just taking out what's easy. Many of us are not really taking care of ourselves. We're more fixated on taking care of the others around us. So I urge you to think of this like really deeply and look at how you're taking care of yourselves. Remember, our brain works as a supercomputer, and if we're not fueling up, we're not going to be able to perform, right? And that all adds to when your body's tired, your mental energy is shaken, your mindset will be shaken. Your mindset will not be as positive. You know the phrase, oh, I'm so hungry. When you're hungry, you get angry. Well, there's a very simple reason for that. Your body's lacking fuel, and therefore it impacts your emotional state. Think of this as you have to keep your cup full in order to be performing at your best. And that's what this is all about. We have to keep the mindset, perform well, so that we can celebrate how we're getting there. And the next slide I've put up here is about having an open growth mindset. It allows you the freedom to ideate with people, to get ideas flowing, your creativity juices flowing. Yes, there is a way to have, you can get sort of pulled in different directions if you have too much collaboration. But what I'm talking about is really allowing yourself not to be too fixed, but saying, hey, change is constant. Change happens. And if I have an idea and I'm allowing the current situations or my customer to allow me to think in a different way, just allow that to wash over you so that you have an open growth mindset. The perspective is more than one, right? So think of this as you set up yourself for the next 6 months, what it is you're trying to achieve. How can I have an open growth mindset? How can I allow other things I see around me to impact how I perform and the way I get there? So embrace your challenges and accept constructive criticisms when you're speaking to people, and just build on it. Always have that curiosity to develop your ideas further. And then the final one is, let's do a quick check-in. Who do we have on the call? And, think about where you are now with an idea. So before I show you these 3 slides, where were you with a specific idea? What was your thinking behind it? How were you planning to get there? What was the goal you had set yourself? And now, how can you change that goal to become a SMART goal? How can you make it measurable, more specific? How can you have just timelines that is going to allow you to look at the smaller growth picture rather than that shining beacon that's way so far in the future, right? So give yourself a good, firm timeline. And then how are you going to start taking care of yourself in order to get there? What can you do differently in your daily and weekly routine so that you're keeping your mind, your brain, your body, everything in its peak condition to work towards that goal? Do I have any questions?
No, I think you're doing great, and smart goals are so important, so important. So I
Yep.
really think that's a great perspective. We often forget that
Yep.
we need to bring our goal setting down, like you said, closer to yourself.
Yeah. I see so many clients. They'll say, like, even if you're university students, I want to graduate with these marks. Okay, so let's break that down. What do you need to do for the next year? If you're in your final year, what do you have to do for the next year to get there? Because you're here now and you've got this in front of you. And we break it down. And the same with entrepreneurs. I want to double my business. Great idea. How? How do you break that down? Because just saying that I want to double my business or my client base, it's a big prospect. But if you break it down into little timelines, little bite-sized goals, and then you can celebrate, okay, this month I've done this. The last 3 months I've done this. It's amazing what it does to the mindset.
Well, and one thing, Karen, I'm always applying it to myself. You know, I'm a bit of a dreamer, right? I've always got these lofty things that come into my mind, but it can be a distraction. And so when you get that big goal in your mind, you need to start stepping backwards and saying, well, what do I need to achieve it? So wonderful advice.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And what you're saying is 100% right, Karen, because I always say when I'm working on a project with someone, I always say to them, okay, so what is it that you've got the product now, you've got everything is done for you. What is it? What is your goal? What is it like at the end of this year? What do you want to achieve, like financially? So you start with the big number for the end of the year. And then you work backwards and you say, well, how much is that? You know, how much is that every month? And then you take 1 month and then you say, in that month, how will I get that amount? And you put a plan together. So it might be something simple like, okay, I need 12 people to make up that amount every month. And so now I need to go out and find those 12 people. And once you've got that simple, very simple plan in front of you, and yes, of course, there will be hiccups and everything, but once you've got that plan in front of you, you can, I mean, your mind, it's like a completely different thing. You feel amazing, like you feel, okay, I'm ready to go. But a lot of people I find in business, they scurry around, they don't really know what they want to do, make at the end of the year. They have no plan. Their mindset's all over the place. And trust me, I've been there. You know, I wasn't always where I am today. I started from zero. So I know. That's why I was talking about the tree earlier on. You know, we're so busy focused on so many leaves, trying to please everybody. But ultimately, you got to start with yourself. So thank you for saying that again, because it's I know it's we all know that, but it's a big reminder.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I my last bit before I hand off to you guys and our next speaker is just take care of yourselves, because you may have goals you've set for the year and you have just the best intentions, but unless you take care of yourselves, it's not going to be possible.
Sure. Awesome.
And that is so true, Karen. It's so true. And you know, the best thing about the task list or crossing things off your list is that every day you should have that on your list, that you need to be taking care of yourself first, and at the end of the day, crossing it off your list. Your life balance, your life health, your life wealth, it's all connected to being sure that you are taking care of yourself. So wonderful wisdom.
Yes. And Golfo is on today, and she shares planning sets you up to become responsible and work smarter. Exactly.
Oh, for sure. So Karen has given 3 prizes up. It's a coaching session with her, a free coaching session that includes a 45-minute consultation to review your goals and expectations over the next 6 months, identify the biggest challenge, and you'll get 1 new perspective from Coach K to help you make the change. And it must be redeemed by June 25th. So while the next speaker is going, Karen, if you could read the comments and pick 3 people out to award the coaching, we'll announce it at the end of the show.
Oh, I don't know. Everyone's deserving. How do I do that?
Well, we can pick 3 if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if 3 ladies, you know, have a business plan going and they are stuck in some way, just put their hands up, you know.
Okay. So Anne will sort of monitor that, and we'll announce it at the end of the show. So thank you very much, Karen. And
Yeah.
over to you, Anne, to introduce our next guest.
Yes, and I'm very pleased to introduce Roxanna Murden, and I'll just have to say that Roxanna has got the most amazing bio. But I'm going to just tell a brief story of her background. I mean, at the age of 27, Roxanna gave up the corporate world and pursued her love for being an entrepreneur. And at the age of 30, she owned her own first BP petrol station. So yeah, I don't know what you call them, gas stations in Canada, but here we call them petrol stations because you get petrol, we don't say gas. Being a female, she had to work twice as hard to prove that she could actually do this. But she pursued her passion in business coaching, and at the same time was very successful in helping coach other business owners to start and to grow their business. Now, Roxanna she's a serial entrepreneur. Okay, she has a master in NLP, transformational mindset, and educational business coach, and she's an international speaker. And her passion is to pursue her passion, and her purpose is to make a difference in the lives of those who she meets. And today she'll be speaking about how to get into the right mindset in our business and personal life. Over to you, Roxanne. Are you there, or you're muted?
I'm there. Yes. I'm not sure what time everybody is on. I'm on evening. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much, Anne, and thank you so much, Sherry, for having me. I truly love being part of your show today. And yes, 2021 has started off, and there's been quite a lot of stress. A lot of people have been going through major shifts. And one most important thing, when we chat to Anne, most important thing for me is about a mindset. A lot of businesses have been closed. A lot of people are taking major losses. And the most important for me is how you deal with them. It's not how you fail. It's how you get up from that failure. It's not how much of losses you take. It's how you cope with it afterwards. And I mean, 2020 has been a year for every single person of loss, whether they've lost somebody they loved, whether they've lost a lot of time, whether they've lost just time alone with being with people. There's so many people that have been alone, and in lockdown, they've been by themselves. So it's been a very trying year for us, 2020. And I think the thing most important we need to do is close that page. Most people want to reflect on 2020. We are in 2021, and we need to move forward to understand what is the mind shifts, what is the paradigm shifts that we need to take to move forward. Yes, there's a pandemic. Yes, we've got to be cautious about our masks and taking care of ourselves and protecting ourselves, making sure that when we go home from meetings or from work, that we don't contaminate our families. And the most important for me that I always believe, and this is what works best for me, is just do what you can do. Breathe. For me, most importantly, and I say to every single one of my clients, I think we've been very tough on ourselves this year. You know, we've been blaming. There's nothing to blame. Nobody has control over what has happened. But the most important thing is we have no control of what is happening. We have control of how we deal with it. And that is most important. So yes, our businesses have been taken a toll. I've closed 2 businesses in 2020. And I've had 2 other businesses that have started flourishing in the second month of 2021. And if you ask me, was it easy? A lot of people ask me, was it easy? No, it came with a lot of tears. It came with a lot of fears. It came with a lot of misery because I've had to change my thinking patterns. And I had to go and decide. And, you know, I continuously say it on most of my platforms when I speak. For me to identify where I'm heading, I use my 5 W's. And I'll say it just quickly because I'm sure each one of you on this platform has heard the 5 W's. I had to question, what is my purpose? And what am I going to be doing that's going to make me money? Because yes, my purpose most of the time, I work basically without earning money. but what is going to bring in revenue? Doing love projects of going out into rural areas and doing entrepreneurial courses for our youth, that's all okay. But I also have to earn money doing business coaching, training, and helping people optimize their businesses. And the most difficult thing, and I think I had a conversation with Anne about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I know she had a very good laugh about it. One most important thing for me was I am not tech savvy. I can change my cell phone. There will be a lot of tears. I will be crying. I'll be kicking up a fuss. If I change my laptop, right now I set up the whole thing on a laptop. I had lighting, my banner board were there, and nothing went on. So I'm not good with tech, but I had to start learning. I needed to find out what's the alternative. I needed to have a backup plan. I needed to do most of my sessions online. And if I tell you, I've had sessions where I've spoken and then I've asked a question only to find out nobody heard me. And I was like, I'm pull out my hair. I cannot believe this. So, I actually, my son laughs because he's like, can I check everything out for you before that? Because he's running and we'll go and get a Wi-Fi from the neighbor and we're trying to get a network. South Africa, our networks is not very stable, not at all. It's actually the worst. So those are things that I've had to take into account, that yes, I'm going to have a backup system for my networking. I'm going to get a stronger band so that I don't have the breaks when I'm having a talk. Those kind of things I've had to shift. But the one of my businesses that it took me a while. I've always been, and I'm old fashioned, right? I'm going to give my age away. I've been training for 30 years. And then I was like, how am I going to train online? I have always done it standing in the room. I have this energy. I bring this force with me. I know I'm getting across. And then I was told to speak to a screen. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is not going to happen. I'm a people's person. I got to feel my people. I got to feel their room. And the pandemic didn't allow it. So those were shifts that I had to make to say that I'm going to become tech savvy. And I had a mental kick from Anne to say, listen, you gotta get onto this program, because I was refusing speaking platforms. I was like, oh my God, you don't want me on this platform. Things go wrong. Yes, it does. But you know what? I've got to be tough enough to say that this is the new in thing. This is what it is. We're on a digital age and I have to move with the program. So for me, the what was most important is, what am I going to do? What am I going to do about the situation that I am not tech savvy? I've had to learn. I've asked friends. My families have got involved to try and help me set up. And yes, lighting sometimes is not the best. Sometimes my network's not the best. So I had to ask myself, what is the problems I'm encountering and how can I change this? How can I fix this? How can I, as a business coach, optimize myself to be able to be effective to bring that energy, to bring that knowledge of mine across via a screen, you know? Then I had to ask myself, why do I want to do this? And I knew that closing 2 of my businesses affected me tremendously. But I did have a backup financial emergency savings account that I always have that lasts me a year. So 2020, with the grace of God, I didn't have a problem to say financially. I didn't have food or anything. And we've had many families lose their homes. They didn't have food, didn't have money for medical, lost loved ones, lost their businesses, lost their jobs, you know. So I thanked God and I was grateful for whatever was happening in my life at that particular time. So I've asked myself, why? Why do I want to do this? And for me, like I said to you, most important was to help people change their mindsets, to help them shift into understanding that we have no control over the pandemic. We need to be compliant to keep ourselves safe. But what we do have control is, where are we heading? Where are we heading? How are we going to be doing this together as a nation, as people, as humankind? How are we going to do this where we're going to be loving towards each other, where we're going to try to uplift each other? And that's what is important for me. And my hashtag is normally making a difference in the lives of people. So it was very important for me to learn and get on the platforms, because I didn't feel energized anymore. I didn't feel that I was doing what I truly loved doing. And the third thing was when. And the when was like I was pushing it. And then I had a knock call from Anne and I was like, okay, I got to do this. And I really appreciate that call. It was more like a coaching, motherly, boss kind of a let me give you a kick in the head kind of a call. So I really appreciated it, because I know, and she said to me, I'm here. Stop avoiding my calls. I'm here to help you. And that's what's important for me, is the amount of network that I have, the support structures from the amazing, powerful women that I have in my life that understand that this is my passion, this is my purpose. But I cannot do it without women like Anne, without women like Sherry, that actually force me to get out of my comfort zone and say, listen, we're moving on with the program. Life is going on. Businesses are happening, you know. So mindset shifts was very important. And myself as a business mindset coach, it was very difficult. And I don't want to tell anybody that, you know what, suck it up, wear your Superman Jack cape. For me, it's about, you're going to have those days where you're down. So reach out to somebody that can give you that love and support. You're going to have days where you're scared yourself because somebody you care for is sick, or somebody you know is actually not facing a good time. So yes, negative energy comes towards us, negative news comes towards us, and we actually perceive it as ourselves. So remind yourself every single day, what are you grateful for? Yes, things have not troubled you, things are not coming towards you. So just be grateful. You might not be earning the same money, you might not be having the same house, you might not be having that same luxurious life where you were traveling and meeting people. The one most important thing I miss it thoroughly is the traveling. But you know what? I've met so much amazing people online, and I've actually seen their countries through a screen of a phone. So yes, I'm grateful for that as well. I've met Sherry and I've met so many other people online here right now, which was never possible. So we have technology that allows us to actually see more than, if I had to travel to your country, I might not actually meet you. But via technology, I'm here. So I'm truly, truly grateful. And I wake up every single morning and I look at my life and I say, what am I truly grateful for? What do I love about what is happening right now? And yes, COVID has come with its negative, but the positive for me, I've become much closer with my friends and my families. I've become much more loving and empathetic, because for me right now, everybody's going through something. And it's a paradigm shift that was not so easy to follow. I've had my days where I felt sorry for myself. I've had my days, my son is in China. When the pandemic hit, it was the most traumatizing thing for me to know that my son is in another country. But I had to tell myself that if I give in to my fear, my son wouldn't be strong. And the other day, there was such a beautiful call he gave me, and he said, I truly, truly am grateful for the strength you showed me in the time that I was scared. And for me, that is priceless. So yes, our mindsets, just no matter whether you have a business, your life, whatever you're doing, just remember our mindsets can actually take you into the best place possible. Find the good, whatever is happening around you. Find something that you're truly grateful for. Find something that you truly love. And I mean, I love helping people, whether it's with their mental shifts, whether it's with their business, no matter what it is. I truly, truly love what I do. So I'm not sure if my time is up, because Anne will have to give me like a wave and say enough, because on this topic, it's something that I can go on and on and on. But I want you to understand, and I'm unfortunately, I wasn't on early, but I'd love to offer as well. Anne can decide. I'd love to give 5 of your ladies, I'm not sure how many are online or who is online, but 5 of them to have a 1-hour session with myself. If you are depressed, if you are grieving, if you've not managed to push yourself out of that state of mind, of the panic, of the pandemic, the fears, the losses, I'd love to give you a session, whether it's for your business, whether it's for your life, whether it's for your spouse, whatever it is. And I won't put a timeline on it, but I'd like you to use it as soon as possible so you can make use of it, because for me, it's quite valuable. Anne, am I good to go, or are we winding up?
I think it's time to wind up.
Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for having me. And thank you, Sherry. I truly love that you've put me onto your platform. And I cannot even tell you how much this means to me. Your support, your love. I have 5 women in my life that are very vital. And those women are my supporters, my lovers, my kick-ass ladies. And I think Anne is one of those ones where they just kick me out of that, where I go into my, let's feel sorry for myself. They don't allow that. I have my fun girls where we have lots of fun. We dance, we sing, we cook, and we just play. And then I have my spiritual group where we uplift ourselves. So make sure you find your 5 support people. And if you can't find any one of them, reach out to me. I'd love to be of help to you. So take care, ladies. Thank you for having me on your platform.
Thank you so much, Rox. And I have to say that Roxanna was actually a speaker on last year, pardon me, on the 9th of August. I have the Women's Day Summit, and Roxanna was a speaker on that summit. It was like a 4-hour summit, had eight amazing speakers, and she was one of them. And you know, you see this happy face and this delightful person in front of you, but she has had one hell of a story in her life. So if she's on the Women's Day Summit again this year, then I hope all of you will come and join us, because to hear her story. But I'm sure that when you get in touch with her, and you will choose the names just now, but when you get with your one-on-one with Roxanna, you'll find out exactly what type of person she is. Thank you so much, Rox.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rox. It was fabulous. And I had to laugh about the technology, because I think that's one thing about COVID and our age group. If we haven't been involved in technology, we have been thrown into it. And as wonderful as that is, it comes with its learning challenges. And I'm even amazed. My father-in-law is you know, who's in his 80s, and my father are also having to get involved in that. You know, he had a doctor's appointment over the phone, a lawyer's appointment over Zoom, and these were just foreign things to him. So I can really appreciate the struggle of that. And also what resonated with me was, again, surrounding yourself with a tribe, right? Having that support and the people that you can rely on to give you a kick when you need it. And I hope everyone has that. And for sure, if they don't, we are welcoming you into this community with fabulous Friday TV. So Anne, do we have 8 people picked, or can we sort of get that while I continue on? Or
Yeah,
do we have some?
Yeah, you can carry on.
Okay, so one thing that we're really curious about, you know, we always use this show to sort of see what people are thinking about. And what we want to know is, what are you craving to do once the COVID restrictions have been lifted? You know, I'm dying to get to Greece, for example. I can't wait. And I talked to a woman in the States yesterday who's traveling to Hawaii in the United States. That's all been lifted. But are you thinking of going on for a special meal? Like, what have you missed doing while COVID has been going on? So if you can put that in the chat. And then, as you know, Golfo Tsakumis provides the art for the studio here. This is one of her beautiful pictures. And she has an exhibition starting in White Rock at the Architecture Gallery starting this Sunday. And her paintings are in private and corporate collections around the world. So go to golfoart.com to view her beautiful collection. And I also want to thank Gilligan's Girls Flowers, who provide the flower arrangements here. And I don't know if I've told you before, but I'm working with a stylist, Kathy Patelis-Schmidt in Switzerland, Style, etc. And I am learning so much about style. I mean, here I am 62. I thought I knew it all. And she's just been giving me a lot of insight. So it's been fabulous. Now, next week, we're talking about recreation and how participation in activities support mental, physical, emotional, and cognitive health. And we're so excited to explore the benefits of 2 activities next week. We're going to explore dancing with Gisela Roca of Movements for Life from Switzerland, who's created over 25 ballets in her lifetime, and painting and art with Cheryl Bodner from Canada, who is a member of the Federation of Canadian Artists. So you'll want to make sure to check in on our show. It's 8 a.m. every Friday morning. You can see it on Facebook Live. You can register at fabulousfridaytvshow.com, or you can go to App 45 YouTube channel to view previous shows. So are we ready to announce the winners, Anne?
Yes. Well, actually, it's pretty easy because there are 5 or 6 people that have interacted with us on the chat. So I think that we should give it to those people, all of them. And that would be Renee, Arlene, Teresa, Golfo, Priye. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Priya and Holly.
Fabulous. So congratulations, everyone. We are looking forward to the weekend. What have you got planned this weekend, Anne?
Well, one of my clients is launching her book, and it's based on a true story, and so I'm helping her with the launch party, which is going to be very interesting because there are over 100 people. So I don't know how she's managed to get away with that with COVID regulations, but we're all going to go to a big party tomorrow morning for 4 hours. It's going to be wonderful.
How exciting. Well, here in Vancouver, we have finally got some good weather. It's supposed to be sun shining all weekend. So I'm actually planning on going to the beach, and I just can't wait to get started.
Wow.
So yay. So thank God it's Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Remember that you are fabulous. Be fabulous. Bye, everyone.